Benjamin.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving me this interview.
Thank you.
And congratulations, I have to tell you this, for becoming a father.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a great thing.
I'm sure it is.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Do you have like now a whole bunch of new fears?
Possibly, but it's a new. Life is no more about myself. Life is all about. My life is now dying, but slowly. And he's coming.
Rebirth.
Yeah, rebirth, and it's all about him. You know, it's nothing to do with me anymore. Yeah.
That's amazing. You said you weren't interesting. I think I read it somewhere on one of your interviews. You weren't interesting in writing about love or romance, but with all this happening in your life, do you change your mind?
Maybe. One day I'll write about an album about love. And it still needs some convincing, but it is possible now because it's true now.
It's true now.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're living, what you're going through, what you want to tell.
Exactly. Yeah. So now I understand, and now I can talk about it.
You think we're always in mutation, like life in ourselves, and that determines the things we do all the time?
I think so. Sometimes we hide it. Most of the times we hide it. But as an artist, I think this is the only way, or the only thing I can use to talk about what I experience. So it's fairly as long as it's true and it's honest, I do it. Yeah.
And you are very soft spoken, and then you have that incredible voice on stage.
Thank you.
And I know that and you have this very rich vocabulary, so I'm very sorry in advance for my English.
No, honestly, your English is perfect.
No. And you do read a lot, right?
Yeah.
And how does that change you as a person, and also help you as an artist?
For me, it's so like words and literature is in the very center of what I do. Without literature and poetry and without literature, I don't think I would have been able to compose or write anything. Maybe that might not be true, but for me, from my experiences, I feel that it's how it's like they're my tools. When a carpenter goes to work, you can't be a carpenter without tools to make a table. And you need your nails, you need your hammers, you need your ruler. And words are like that. Words are my hammers and rulers, and making that table is the music.
Like to carve out of
exactly.
Like the thing you are already imagining.
Exactly. My feelings are carved by words, which are tools, and what the end product is ultimately music.
It's lovely. And your favorite poet is William Blake, right?
William Blake, yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah. One of them.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
And what captivates you in his writing? And it's kind of like a bit prophetic, isn't he?
He's a bit prophetic, but he's a bit mad as well. Yeah.
All the good ones are. Really.
Yeah, but what really inspires me about him is his simplicity, the way that he uses words, simple words that children will understand, words that are very common, and he uses it to say things that are very profound, and that really captivates me, because some poets like Baudelaire or Rimbaud, they mumble on and on and on and on and on and on. And sometimes Blake also mumbles on and on, but his the poems I really love of him, many of the poems I like were really short stanzas, really few sentences here and there, and it's what really makes him my favorite poet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he talked about a lot of the divine and
which I don't really believe in. Yeah. Yeah, he was a prophet, I suppose. He was a prophet in his own way, but I don't believe in that. So
what do you believe in?
I believe in love. That's all I believe in. I think, traveling from London to Paris, and if I was loved enough, I don't think I would have gone to Paris, because I was searching for love. I was searching for someone to show me that I was worth it. I was, my life was much as important as theirs, and I was looking for somebody to share this experience, or people, I'm not talking about a relationship, I'm just talking about, sharing a human kind of love. And I didn't have that as a child, so I went out to look for it. If you've got a lovely family, you don't go out looking for love until you're about 20 something, But yeah, so that's the reason why I think I traveled a lot. That's all I believe in. I personally think I respect people who believe in something more than love, but I don't believe there's anything more than love. I don't believe it. I've never seen, and unless I see it, I'll never believe in anything else but love.
But isn't the core love, and then it was like misrepresented by religion and all those things?
Well, I don't know, because religion is such an entity that is so profound and huge. People's life depend on it. Some people's lives, if you go to Africa, or if you go to,
maybe because they also
Asia.
Yeah, they're also looking for love, but in a different way.
I think we're all looking for love the same way. I really think so. But it's just that, I grew up from a Christian background, and I didn't find love. So what does that mean? I only found love when I went out of my way and started talking to people, meeting people, different kinds of people. People who speak different languages, different cultures. And I realized that I wasn't the only person in this world. I realized that there's so many different people who understood me, who looked different, and that's, for me, that's love, and I used to read the Bible from Genesis to Revelations. I would just say so many quotations from the Bible and so on and so forth, but it was, for me, I said I respect people whose life are dependent on the Bible, but for me it's a waste of time. We need to spend more time as human beings together than think that there's a guy up there who's going to somehow
save you after all
save us, and we're gonna go to heaven, and we're gonna, love is heaven. Well, what else do you want? It has both pros and cons, but but I'm just a human being. I'm just, this is my opinion, and this is what this is my experiences. If anyone has different opinions, that's I totally respect it.
That's right. Let's talk a little bit about I Tell a Fly, your sophomore album. It's very obviously, very different from At Least For Now, and At Least For Now has like a really cool meaning now, because At Least For Now, it was At Least For Now, really, because now it's something totally different. What sparked this creativity for I Tell a Fly? It's very different. It's absolutely like overwhelming album.
Thank you.
And every time we listen to it, we discover something new. We discover another layer. We discover it has so many dramatical pauses, and it has the piano solos, and then it has the drums, and then it's layers and layers, and it's amazing. How did you come up with that?
By traveling.
Yeah, traveling. What would be the traveling thing?
Yeah. It's for me. I believe I believe we're birds. You know. I believe that we're born to travel, to migrate, to move, to wander. And when unfortunately, as human beings, when we find comfortability, we feel uncomfortable. So we always want to find more comfortability. So we move around. This album is really about traveling. And when I was making this album, finally, honestly, at least for now, the reason why I call it "At least for now" is because I knew that this is not fully me. It's not the full me, and I knew that I had to come out with what I really wanted to come out with. So yeah, if you go through the songs, you can see that there are different time signatures. It goes from very slow to very fast, and it goes back to slow. And it's because the theme is wandering, the theme is traveling. When you travel in a train stops, and then it goes again, then it stops and it goes again. Sometimes slow, sometimes fast. So that's the reason why.
Actually, it will make me listen to the album in another way.
Pardon?
Actually, what you say will make me listen to the album in another way.
Well,
that's good. That's good. That's good. That's really good. Because do you imagine the song like in a whole, or do you make it in parts?
Songs are in a whole. The album is an album.
That's even more amazing.
Because
the construction.
No, it's because I if I'm gonna make just a song, I'm just gonna write a song. I'm not gonna write an album. So for me, if I write an album,
it's conceptual. A little bit.
Well, I think if you say it's an album, then it has to be. Well, I think it has to be together as a piece of work, and you're giving it to your teacher. And for me, the teacher is the people, because people teach me, and how to live my life, because they are the reason. They give them experiences. So I am not the teacher. People are the teacher, because people are life.
Are you very different from when you started as a person? Like you said, you had like a fake persona that you like, but it was another way around. You sometimes most artists have a fake persona on stage. You used to have a fake persona to talk with people, right? Not on stage.
Well, what are you talking about, the fake self and the real self? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, well, the fake self and the real self is not being fake in front of people. No, and that's horrible. You don't want to be fake in front
of. Like a persona, like almost an alter ego.
Well, I think it is all part of us. We call it alter ego, but where is it from? Where is alter ego from?
Yeah, from us.
Yes, exactly. So it is a part of us.
Yes.
So
but it's hidden, or
yeah, it is. We all. So what I meant by fake self and real self is that we're all born with these selves, okay, and we naturally somehow experience that self when we come across something. So if you come across a bird, your fake self or the real self might come instead of your other self, and you face that bird and you feed that bird and you whatever that bird. For me as an artist, firstly I'm Benjamin, and that's obviously my true self. That's honestly my true self. Fake self is like when I was a child and I was faced with bullies, right? When kids will come and try to beat me or whatever. Yeah, my fake self will rise
to
defend myself. Do you understand? That's what it is. So right now, as I'm older, of course, certainly there might be. I still have a fake self, no matter what happens. I'll still have a fake self. But I've learned that, of course, I have to be true, and I am naturally like that. I don't think that I say to myself when I go to bed, okay, tomorrow you're gonna put your fake self, or tomorrow you're gonna change your. Joey. Yeah. So we all have that. It's just a matter of when we come across situations. When I'm on stage, I'm the same as when I'm off stage, of course. But I am certainly more true to my wife and my love, because it's not that I have to. It's what it is.
It's natural.
It's natural, yeah.
And you were talking about bullying. Obviously, I have to ask you about the Phantom of Leopoldville.
Yeah.
And is it that bullying you talk about in Phantom of Leopoldville an analogy to actually what's happening in Aleppo and in the world, from the international community to the people who are suffering and don't get help, and actually the things that are happening in Aleppo, actually?
Basically, yes. It's I don't know why it's taken so long for people to understand what I'm saying, especially the English press. They just don't get it, bullying, when I mention bullying, it's almost like a circus or something. It's like a joke. I feel that
They take it literally or don't take it seriously?
They take it literally, and they don't just quite understand what I'm trying to say. It's clear. It is clear that this is bullying. This other countries that bully other countries. It's a fact. So, and the only way as an artist to talk about this is by going within myself and going, okay, when was I bullied? Because I thought about when I was in school, and I used that to obviously talk about that. So it's really not a puzzle, do you understand? But it's just somehow, and there's a guy called Donald Winnicott who actually wrote about it, who they respect in England so much in England. So this is not anything that's very hard to understand.
Do you think that in this era, I'm sorry to interrupt you, you're thinking that in this era that we're already discussing again the difference between the man and its work, that somehow artists being political and society trying to shut them down?
Well, no one can shut me down.
You're an artist, don't get political. Why are you getting political? I see that a lot. Like when artists speak out and they say, why are you doing that? Why do I get political? Just sing,
Well, I totally hate those kind of people. And I don't say hate. I mean I don't hate anyone, but the world is better without those kind of people, because it is stupid for anyone to say to anyone that, to stop them from doing what they want to do, especially when it's to do with creativity. I mean, this is the reason why I absolutely adore Banksy, because obviously he's found such a way to make art that no one can say anything. This is the mark of a true artist, being able to shut everyone down and just do not because you spoke literally, but because it came through your art. And when people say that don't get political artists, don't get political, I just wonder what kind of art they're interested in, because all the greatest arts I've seen and witnessed were all inspired by at the time, and so if they're singing a song or that they think it's a masterpiece, then they should think about where it actually came from, the reason, the cause, the reason. Maybe if you look at Bill Withers, in his music, and if he goes back to Nina Simone, or if he go back to in those hard times, the reason why the music came into being is because of the hard times. And this has got to do with obviously politics. It's got everything has got everything to do with politics. And in fact, I personally don't say politics because
people have a definition of politics that is not quite correct, I think.
Right.
They associate politics with politicians.
Right.
And corruption.
Right. Exactly. Well. That's the problem. And if you're corrupted, then you're corrupted. But I'm not going to die and not talk about what my opinions are and what I think about a situation, and because I personally am talking about myself and the people around me. I don't care about any politician. I don't. It's not about that. There's something bigger, and that is the problem we face in my time. I personally, I think they've got different names they put on Brexit. They've got migrants coming to refugees, and I don't care about these words. It's about people. It's about people who need help. About people who just need to live, and it's as simple as that. And if people are being killed, children being killed for doing nothing. I've got a child. If tomorrow I go back home and someone told me that someone just slapped my kid, I'll be absolutely furious and upset and angry. So imagine the people who are going to other countries and killing people for no reason and children for no reason because of money. No, it's a fact. It's not. I'm not just saying it. When sometimes you try to argue somebody and they say this is scientifically proven. When you realize that something is scientifically proven, it's either you go and try and find that it's true by actually going to a laboratory and find out if you mix calcium with whatever it works, or you accept it. The fact is, the people of Syria, it's been going on for years. Obviously, I'm not saying it's your fault, and it's not my fault, but they are people. They deserve to live. See, so bullying. Because I remember when I was cool, and I was being bullied. I went back home to my family, but I couldn't tell my parents because I was scared of them. So I was, and Donald Winnicott, the writer, said, this is also bullying. When a child can't speak to their parents, this is bullying because they're scared. So it's both ways. Being bullied both ways. People in the United Kingdom, guess what? They haven't got a mouth. They can't speak for themselves. They can't speak for themselves and go, hey, can you stop going here and getting things from you? They can't say this. They're being bullied.
The power they have, and the power they have, they use it in
exactly. So therefore, it's bullying in absolutely different ways. Just because you're not in Syria doesn't mean that you're not being bullied.
Exactly.
So, anyways.
And I know we don't have much time, but I really want to talk to you about this song because I think it goes a little bit in the way of the things we're talking about, quintessence. Yeah. It's like almost you're talking about the dichotomy between Rousseau and Hobbes. If do you believe that man was born naturally bad and society has to kind of dominate him and tell him what to do, or do you believe that man is born naturally good and society corrupts him?
I think man is born whichever way man is born. Some men are born evil. I totally believe that. Some men are born evil, and other men are born good, and that's that. But there are more good people than evil people. But obviously, when the room is dark, somehow it has more presence than when the room has light. For some reason, if you turn the lights off right now, we will only see dark. See, darkness. But the light's on, and we can see this, and we can see that, and we can see that, and we forget about the light that is shining. So, this is what I believe. Some men are born evil, definitely.
I also believe Rousseau's, this phrase that has always been with me, that every man is born free, but everywhere he is in chains. That's very beautiful. I think maybe sometimes the chains that there are in, depending on where they are, could be a good thing. Maybe. So if you're in chains because of love, then you stay where you are, and you embrace the chain. You embrace the chain. For example, now I'm a father. I'm in a chain of fatherhood. So I'm no more the guy who I still am, but like I have a son, so I have that experience. Not a lot of people, some people don't have children, so but to have that experience is, I think, also being in the chain. It's not a bad thing. It's just that I'm in I'm in a place where I've submitted to being that person that was look after a human being, because I only did that through my music before, but now I don't think he even like my music. So I have to do it another way, I have to look after him and love him. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you very
chat.
much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.